This is in continuation to our previous lecture on commercial cells and batteries, right? In the previous video lecture, we have understood lead storage battery and we have seen the reactions that take place at discharging, that is when battery is working, and when the battery gets charged or recharged, right? So here the lead sulfate that gets formed, right, will discharge the battery, and when we supply or connect this battery to a direct current source, it will remove the lead sulfate that gets deposit on the electrodes and will restore electrodes to what it was when the battery was new, right? So one thing that we didn't discuss here is a small thing here. When the battery is getting used up, right, that is when battery is connected to an inverter or when it is connected in the car or any automobile, their battery is providing electrical energy, right, it's giving electrical energy. So their battery is acting as a electrochemical cell, as a galvanic cell, right? And when the battery gets discharged, right, when battery gets discharged and we connected it to a direct current source, maybe a generator, right, then we are giving or passing current into the battery, into the cells, right? So normally when we pass electric current into the cell, into the electrolytic cell, right, that process is known as electrolysis, right? So in the second phase, when we are charging or recharging the battery, process of electrolysis is taking place, right? And when electrolysis is taking place, that means the cell is acting as an electrolytic cell, right? So in the second case, when battery is recharging, the lead storage battery is acting as an electrolytic cell, and in the first case, when battery is getting used up, it's acting as an electrochemical cell or galvanic cell or voltaic cell, right? Now there is similar another battery known as nickel cadmium battery, or we also call it as nickel cadmium battery, or we also call it as NiCad cell, right? This cell is costlier than, or this battery is costlier than this lead storage battery, and is commonly used in calculators, right? It's a nickel cadmium battery, nickel cadmium battery. So here anode is of nickel, cathode is a metal grid that contains nickel dioxide. It's a metal grid that contains nickel NiO2, right, nickel dioxide. So the reactions that take place at anode and cathode is what we need to look at. So at anode, I'm sorry, here I missed one thing. The anode is not of nickel, the anode is of cadmium, right? Nickel is here, nickel dioxide at cathode, right? I'm sorry for this. Just anode is, I'm sorry, of cadmium. Now let's see the reactions at anode and cathode. Reaction at anode would be this cadmium, right? We have cadmium at anode. Cadmium will react with OH. Here OH is electrolyte, is our potassium hydroxide, right? So we have OH, cadmium will react with OH ions, it will form cadmium hydroxide, right, plus 2 electrons. And at reaction at cathode would be, at cathode metal, at cathode nickel dioxide. Cathode we know is a metal grid that consists of NiO2, right, nickel dioxide. So nickel dioxide will react with water and these electrons will go to cathode. So NiO2 plus water plus these two electrons, it will form nickel hydroxide, right? Nickel hydroxide plus 2OH, right? So similar to this, similar to lead storage battery, before you go through NICAD battery, just understand nickel storage, understand this lead storage battery in detail. So here the cadmium hydroxide and nickel hydroxide that gets formed, similar to lead sulfate, these products also sticks to the electrodes, right, anode and cathode, right, due to which the battery gets discharged. So in order to remove these compounds, what we do is we recharge battery, right? When we recharge battery, it will reverse the flow of electrons and will restore the electrodes, right? So this is about nickel cadmium battery. There is nowadays lithium batteries is commonly getting used because of its lightweight, right? And lithium batteries consist of, in lithium batteries, anode is of lithium, right, and cathode is of metal oxide, which is manganese dioxide, right, and electrolyte is of lithium perchlorate, LiClO4. I'll write it over here. Anode is of lithium, cathode is of metal oxide, MnO2, right, and electrolyte is of lithium perchlorate, NiClO4, right. Now just one common thing to notice here is, in all these three batteries, at cathode we have a metal oxide. In the first case we have at cathode lead dioxide. In the second case we have a metal grid which consists of nickel dioxide at cathode, and in the third case, in case of these lithium batteries, we have manganese dioxide at cathode, right. So this is it about batteries. Now we have another thing to understand, which is fuel cell, right. What are fuel cells? So fuel cells, if I go simple by definition, fuel cells, this represents a fuel cell. Fuel cells are those that utilize energy produced from combustion of fuels, right. Combustion of fuels produce energy, and that energy is used to, this is a fuel cell, right, in which energy from fuel cells, right, is used, and the energy of fuel cells in these are converted into electrical energy. So energy from combustion of fuels, is converted into electrical energy, right. So in fuel cells, basically what we do is, we'll just understand this in a moment, but just understand what it does. When fuels burn, right, during the combustion of fuels, it will generate a lot of energy, right. And in the old days, if you remember, the energy from the combustion of fuels is used to run turbines, right, which are connected to electrical generators. So in a way, this energy from combustion of fuels is used to produce electrical energy. In those days, in old days, what we used to do is, this energy from the combustion of fuels, right, is used to make steam, right, and this steam is used to run turbine, right. This turbine is connected to electric generators, right. So this steam is used to move turbines, right. So when turbines will move, turbines are connected to electrical generators, so it is used to produce electric energy, right, electric power. The efficiency of this process is 40%, right. So a lot of energy we see here is wasted in old way of producing electrical energy from steam. or from combustion, or from energy that is derived from combustion of fuels, right? So energy derived from combustion of fuels is used to make steam, which is used to run turbines, and turbines are connected to electrical generators. Now what we do is, in fuel cells, one such fuel cell which we will study here is your hydrogen fuel cell, right? Hydrogen, we call it as hydrogen oxygen fuel cells, in which we use chemical energy of hydrogen to produce electrical energy, right? So what you do is, this is a container, right? This is a fuel cell, right, which has electrodes, porous carbon electrodes, right, that contains catalyst, right? It contains catalyst of silver and platinum, which are costly, these are costly metals, right? So what you do is, you pass hydrogen and oxygen gas, right, at around 50 atmospheres and 525 Kelvin, and you have inside these are electrodes, and inside it we have electrolyte, potassium hydroxide, right? So here electrolyte is your potassium hydroxide, right? And anode and cathode, anode plus cathode, they contain this catalyst, that this catalyst is used to catalyze the electrode reactions that we will do in a moment, right? So when you pass this hydrogen and oxygen gas, when hydrogen and oxygen gas is bubbled through these electrodes into this electrolyte, right, then your electrode reactions will take place, that will use to generate energy, right? Basically here hydrogen and oxygen will react to form water, right? Basically what we are doing here also, but the efficiency of this process, right, of reaction of hydrogen and oxygen to form water in fuel cells is 75%, around 70 to 75% compared to 40% in our old method, right? So here the reaction would be, at anode, hydrogen will react with, at anode, hydrogen is, we pass hydrogen into this electrolyte, hydrogen will react with OH, right? Because this, from where this OH comes from the electrolyte, then it forms water plus 2 electrons, right? 2 electrons. So this reaction takes place at anode, where hydrogen, when bubbled through this electrode into electrolyte, will react with OH ions to produce water and 2 electrons, right? This is the reaction at anode. Now reaction at cathode is, at cathode you see that this oxygen gas, right, is passed into this electrolyte through this cathode electrode, right? So oxygen will react with water here to form, oxygen will react with water to form OH ions, 4 OH ions. This reaction takes place at cathode, right? So this is the reaction at cathode. And so what is the net reaction? As I said in the beginning, that in this fuel cell, hydrogen and oxygen will react to form water, right? So here net reaction is, hydrogen will react with oxygen to form water, right? It forms water. This is the net reaction in fuel cell. So this fuel cell has high efficiency, and this is pollution free. If you compare it with the reactions that take place in battery, this is pollution free, right? And here some drawbacks are, the catalysts that we use here, this silver and platinum, these are costly metals, right? So this is it. This is just that we need to do for fuel cells, right? So here most important thing here to understand is of batteries, that we have done in details. Fuel cells is, just remember that combustion of fuels, the energy that is generated from combustion of fuels is used to produce electrical energy. Just remember the old way of doing it, right, where we produced steam from the energy of fuel combustion, right, which is used to run turbines which are connected to electrical generators. But the efficiency of this process is less, 40%. So we employ this process. This is a hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, right? And this hydrogen oxygen fuel cell is used in space, right, to produce electrical energy and water. This what it is doing basically is producing water. So in space, this fuel cell is used to produce water for astronauts, right? So the basic application of this fuel cell is in space, where it is used to produce electrical energy and water for astronauts, right? So I hope all this is clear to you. Thanks.